We are back with another episode of Draft Day Sports Pro Basketball 22 with the Orlando Magic. We are about ready to start our fourth season at the helm of the Magic. We've gotten better and better each year. So we were 29-53 in our first season, 53-29 in 2022. We made the NBA Finals last season, 55-27, and we made the conference finals before losing to the eventual champion Atlanta Hawks. Our roster looks a little different this year. Gone is, why can't I think of his name? Richaun Holmes. Sorry, takes me a second. I'm getting up there in age. Gone is Richaun Holmes. In is Nikola Vucevic coming back home to the Magic. Draft picks Roy Thomas and Wahab Floyd, as well as Ricky Rubio to back up at the point, and Jamal Johnson. So 4 draft picks this year. Johnson, Thomas, or I think 3 draft picks, excuse me. Johnson, Thomas, and Floyd. Vucevic came in via a sign-and trade. Maxi Kleber as a backup as well. So here's our team. And let's get our depth chart set. So it thinks we should start Suggs, Levine, Isaac, Vucevic, and Ayton with Davis, Thomas, and Giannini coming off the bench. I think I want Vucevic as my backup. So we are going to go here and here and here and here. We certainly don't want Vucevic as the backup small forward, but we will do this, this, and this. And then this, and this. Small forward. Let's just get the small forward back here. Yeah, we have a lot of big men. That's an eye. We gotta assign a couple players here to the end of the bench. Ricky Rubio. No, Rubio is our backup point guard. I was trying to figure out what was going on there. Rubio is our backup point guard. We will move him up the list. Yeah, we got to sign a couple of players really quickly, I think. Oops, it's not what I wanted to do either. All right, let's get this part set correctly. So let's move Rubio up here. Johnson will play. No, Giannini is my backup small forward / shooting guard. We want to get him not, an absolute metric ton of minutes, but enough minutes. We will do that. Levine is our starting shooting guard, of course. Let's get his minutes lined up there real quick. Yeah, this is wonky the way it does this. So, who do we want? So Floyd, 61 defense, 50-46. And Thomas, 53 defense. So Thomas is the better player right now. So these minutes are going to go to Thomas, but not. Yeah, this lineup is all sorts of wonky right now. So we'll go 20. That's fine there. Because no NBA team is going to sit DeAndre Ayton for 2 minutes and then bring him right back in. That just doesn't make any real sense. So Thomas will be the power forward there. Get him a couple of minutes. Move Rubio up. We got Levine playing a crap ton of minutes, which I don't want to do. So let's put him back here as the small forward. Him as the shooting guard. Okay, I'm okay with that. 38 minutes for Levine. Not like that, though. That looks dumb. So we'll do it like... How are we going to do this? 40 minutes for Levine. I don't want... Oh, we need Johnson to get some minutes. That's what we wanted to do. Johnson is the other guy who needs some minutes. So he will come in like here, play a few minutes there. Give Zach a breather at the end of the quarter. Yeah, so we'll do it like this. Get him a couple of minutes there at the end of the quarter. So Vucevic, 20. Yeah, so our new centers, Floyd and Thomas, probably aren't going to play a whole lot. Looks like we do need to sign a couple of end-of-the-bench swingmen. So let's do that really quickly. Oh, we're at rookie. We're not even there yet. All right, so let's save. I didn't even realize we weren't even really through the off season yet. So let's go through and so we got Isaac and Suggs to think about this year. Davis, we will exercise his option. The other ones we'll wait on, see how they do this year. Got an email. It's training camp. Let's sim through training camp and see what sort of development we get, and that may change what we do with the lineups. Let's run training camp. All right, so Isaac a tiny bit better. Lamont Cleo's attitude towards me drops. So nothing, no huge, because you'll get 2 up arrows if somebody has a substantial increase. Yeah, so some growth, not a ton. And we are into the D-League assign. Do we want to send anybody to the D-League? We have Lamont Clay. Yeah, he's not really ready. So we will just go through here, and we'll sign a couple of end of the bench players here in a moment once we get through the draft. We will scout said 2025 draft. So we have we're almost at a point where we can get the deep dive. Well, maybe a couple of years away with our scouting points. So we will sim through the scouting of the upcoming draft. Eventually. All right, so now we need to go in here and we need a swing man or 2. So we can get rid of point guards, we can get rid of power forwards and centers. We will apply the filters. Do we have anybody who's a decent scorer? Bryn Forbes. Let's bring in Seth Curry. I like the shooting. So we'll bring in a shooting guard and a small forward. So filter these out. Actually, this one is small forward right there. Let's see what we have for small forwards. Brian Bowen, pretty good defensively. Lewis King. Sean McDermott. Reggie Bullock. Yeah, we'll bring in a 33-year-old Reggie Bullock, good shooter. Sign him. All right, so we brought in a couple of additional players. Let's go back and let's look at our roster and see if we need to make any changes to the depth chart, see if anybody grew substantially. Not really. Doesn't appear to. Doesn't appear that they have. This is a big year for Giannini. It really is. He's got an opportunity here to take some minutes at that small forward position because we just don't have a lot there. And we have Adam Davis, but we play Jonathan Isaac more as a 4 than we do a 3. So we'll see how this year goes. Let's just quickly take a look at the depth chart again and make sure. Yeah, they changed it. Let's restore it to the way we had it. Thank you very much. What is going on? What is going on? What happened to all of my minutes? All right, whatever. We'll get him back in here in a second. All right, so there's Rubio. Vucevic will be the backup center. Let's put those there. Let's see. We want to get Thomas a few minutes at power forward. So power forward, actually, no, you know what? We're going to do it here. Power forward, power forward, power forward. This gives Vucevic a few extra minutes there. Isaac, no, we need Isaac in the game at the end. So we will do this. And then here and here. So that works for that. Are all the shooting guard minutes taken? They are not. So nope. So 1, 2. 1. And then over here. So that's 4 minutes for Johnson. That's fine. Gets him a couple of minutes of playing time. And we have, I think we are set, yeah? I think we are set. We only have Davis playing 28 minutes. No, we don't have small forward here in some of these places. So small forward. Small forward. Okay, yeah, that's not going to work either. So, all right, let's just reset this. Let's just reset the shooting guard and the small forward, and we'll get Giannini his minutes, and we'll sort it out. I don't know why it changed everything on me. I had it saved, but whatever. Okay, so we have point guard, center, and power forward essentially resolved. So we need to just go through and set this. So Giannini will come in at small forward for Davis here at the 6-minute mark. Play a couple of minutes there. At the 12-minute mark, he will come in for Levine. Zach will come back at that point. We will do the same thing in the second half. So we'll do 8, 10, and 12. And then shooting guard here at 2, 4, and 6. All right, so Giannini's in there 24 minutes a game. Rubio's got 14. Vucevic has got 16. Thomas has got 10. We're at 36 for Davis and 36 for Levine. I think we do something like this. So Johnson will come in as the shooting guard here and the small forward here. And I think I'm okay with that. It just gives Johnson a couple of minutes. Let's store that lineup and see how this Magic team does. Can we exceed 55? Actually, you know what? Before we do that, let's go to the league media. This is something I haven't looked at in the past, which I kind of like. Let's look at the power rankings. Not the power rankings. What is the thing that I want to look at? I want to look at season preview. So in the Eastern Conference right now, the Atlanta Hawks are the top team as they were last year. I mean, that's just an absolutely stacked team. Collins, Capella, Porter Jr., Trae Young, Bradley Beal is your starters, and then Steph Curry coming off the bench with Evan Fournier. So this is a loaded team. Orlando Magic, number 2. We lost Begarin, Holmes, and Thibault. Brought in Vucevic, Roy Thomas, and Wahab Floyd. So there's your Magic listed as the number 2 team. Number 3 team expected to be the Cleveland Cavaliers. Evan Mobley, Julius Randle, Isaac Okoro, Darius Garland, Harrison Barnes, with Jared Allen, Lauri Markkanen, and DeAnthony Melton on the bench. That is a deep, deep team. Indiana Pacers, Sabonis, Turner, Hayward finds his way to Indiana finally. Malcolm Brogdon and Karis LeVert, with D'Angelo Russell leading the way off the bench for the Pacers, who are expected to be the number 4 team out east. Miami Heat, number 5. They still have Adebayo, Butler, and Tyler Herro, Isaiah Roby, and Bernie Alanovich, who was a recent free agent, or draft rather. Victor Oladipo, Desmond Bane on the bench. 76ers in the 6th spot. Robert Williams III, with Embiid, Anunoby, Simmons, and Holiday. That's a pretty solid starting 5, if you ask me, with Tyrese Maxey, Shamori Pons, and Nickeil Alexander-Walker off the bench. The Celtics in the number 7 spot. They run with Tatum and Brown, with DeMar DeRozan, and De'Aaron Fox with Enes Kanter. So that 1, 2, 3, and 4 for the Celtics, really, really good. Enes Kanter, a bit of a interesting choice as the starting center. They still have Schroeder on the bench, but that starting 4 really, really, or 4 of those 5 really good for the Celtics. Pistons in the 8th spot. Cade Cunningham, Kobe White, Sadiq Bey, Montrezl Harrell, Chuma Okeke, the former Orlando Magic. Raptors in the 9th spot. Pascal Siakam, Boucher, Barnes, Kwadwo Gregory, and Gary Trent Jr. They still have Van Vliet, and they got Marcus Smart on the bench. New York Knicks in the 10 spot, PJ Washington, Donovan Mitchell, and RJ Barrett. The 1-2 punch for the Knicks. The Brooklyn Nets, Kevin Durant and Giannis Antetokounmpo are the top two players for the Nets, with a whole lot of garbage beyond that. Chicago Bulls in the number 12 seed, or 12 spot, with Paul George, now a Chicago Bull, Lonzo Ball, Mitchell Robinson, Norman Powell, Patrick Williams. Not a very good Bulls team. Washington Wizards in the 13 spot. Not a good team. Josh Robertson was, I think, one of the top picks in the draft. Tobias Harris, Nicholas Claxton, Donald Corsi, and Chris Duarte. The Milwaukee Bucks without Giannis, now not very good. CJ McCollum, Chris Middleton, Keldon Johnson, Delano Banton, and McEverett Fleming, second-year center. And bringing up the rear in the Eastern Conference, the Charlotte Hornets, led by Coach Brad Stevens. They are led by LaMelo Ball and Terry Rozier. Ball, look at those numbers for LaMelo. Kelly Oubre, Tony Bradley, and Dominique Williams. So not a good Charlotte Hornets team. Out west, number one team, the Oklahoma City Thunder. Josh Giddey, SGA, Greg Bobbitt, Darius Baisley, Andre Drummond. Number 2 seed are the Los Angeles Lakers, led by Anthony Davis and Kyrie Irving, Brandon Green, Zubac, and Kenyon Martin Jr. Dallas Mavericks in the number 3 spot. Porzingis and Doncic still the 1-2 punch there, along with O'Shea Britton, Jalen Brunson, and Kyle Anderson. Moses Brown off the bench leading the way for them. Number 4 seed Houston Rockets. Jalen Green, Kevin Porter Jr., Asaf Rufin, Alperen Sengun, and Usman Garuba. Sengun is I like Sengun. He's done really well in my City of Champions playthrough. Asaf Rufin, I believe, was a top pick a year ago. San Antonio Spurs, number 5, DeJounte Murray, DeAndre Hunter, Jason Grunman, who was a top pick, Kelly Olynyk, still going strong for the Spurs, and Herbert Jones. Jeremy Grant coming off the bench for Eric Spoelstra's San Antonio Spurs. Minnesota Timberwolves, selected or picked to go 6th overall. Karl Anthony Towns, Anthony Edwards, still your 1-2 punch there. Naz Reid, Kendrick Dunn, Josh Hart, supporting cast. Memphis Grizzlies, led by Devin Booker and Ja Morant. That is a backcourt. Ja Morant and Devin Booker with Dylan Brooks, Jaren Jackson Jr., and John Elliott. This could be a very good team this year. Sacramento Kings in the 8th spot, coached by Luke Walton. Tyrese Halliburton and Russell Westbrook in the backcourt for the Kings, with Brandon Ingram, Miles Bridges, and old friend Franz Wagner up front. This team could be a lot of fun with Bridges, Wagner, Ingram, Halliburton, and Westbrook. That could be fun. Denver Nuggets in the number 9 spot. A distinct lack of Nikola Jokic out there. Lillard and Valder Ravenel in the backcourt. Jerry Curley, Bobby Portis, Mark Riggs up front. Portland Trailblazers, coached by Vinny Del Negro. Jamal Murray, Sharif Cooper, Cam Reddish, Aaron Gordon, and Richaun Holmes, the former Magic. Utah Jazz in the number 11 spot. Colin Sexton in the backcourt for the Jazz now, with Terrence Ross, Brandon Clark, Rudy Gobert up front. New Orleans Pelicans, Zion Williamson, Jonas Valanciunas up front. Devontae Graham in the backcourt with Trey Murphy, and then Greg Hughes, a rookie, will get the start for them. Golden State Warriors still being coached by Steve Kerr. A very different team here. Brandon Boston runs the point. Bogdan Bogdanovic, their shooting guard. Andrew Wiggins, Rui Hachimura, and James Wiseman. The Phoenix Suns, Nerlens Noel, Cam Johnson, Mikal Bridges, Kai Bowman replacing Devin Booker and Kevin Huerter. And bringing up the rear, the Los Angeles Clippers. Kawhi Leonard still going for them. Wendell Carter, their starting center. Old Magic point guard RJ Hampton, Terrence Mann, and Eric Pascal. So that is your season review, or preview, I guess. And we're going to do some simming here. I've already been going for 20 minutes. We may only sim the first month or so. We will see. Maybe we get to December 1st. First game at home against the Mavericks. Ooh, it was a 132 to 121 loss. Not the way I wanted to get things started here. We did it with our defense last year, and moving on from Richaun Holmes and bringing in Vucevic, I mean, that could come back to hurt us. But LaVine with a solid game. LaVine, 29 points, six rebounds. Suggs had 16 in only 17 minutes. Giannini, 9 points, 12 rebounds, and Vucevic had 13 and 6 off the bench. So offensively, we got it done, but defensively, we struggled. So let's keep going here and see how things pan out for the rest of the month. As my mouse bounces around for some reason. I think it might be time to get a new mouse here. Game 2 on the road against the Pacers. 114 to 96 win. That's what we like to see. A road victory against a division opponent. Led by LaVine and Suggs, each with 29. 18 points, 19 rebounds for DeAndre Ayton. Took 27 shots. Not exactly what I want, but Ayton had a good game. Giannini with 8 and 7. So good start to the season for Giannini off the bench. On the road now against the Trailblazers. Another loss. So we dropped to 1 and 2 out of the gate here. Offense doesn't get it done in this one. Ayton 24 and 15. LaVine had 35. So Ayton, Suggs, and LaVine played well, and everybody else was basically garbage. Davis 6 points, 8.7 rebounds for Isaac. Yeah, not a great season for us, or a great start to the season for us, I should say. 1 and 2 out of the chute. At home now against the Wizards. And there's a win, 114 to 111 to even that record at 2 and 2. Vucevic, 19 points, 5 rebounds off the bench. Another solid 7-7, 5 and 2 for Giannini. Ayton, 22 and 11, 22 for LaVine. Off to a pretty hot start, 28 points, 5.5 rebounds a game for LaVine. Ayton, 18.5, 13. So he's gotten off to a pretty good start as well. So the two guys we lean on to perform have been performing thus far. On the road now against the Wizards. So we just beat them at home, and we just beat them on the road. So 97-91, another solid defensive performance for the Magic. 19 and 19 for Ayton. Vucevic, another 14 points off the bench. LaVine with 23. Suggs 17, 4 and 3. I don't know what we're going to do with him. I mean, he doesn't like being here. He hates the coaching staff. Yeah, I don't know. Davis, scoring. Yeah, his scoring just is not great. I mean, you look at his scoring numbers, it's not good. But 7.5 points, 8.5 rebounds, 2.5 assists. I mean, you'll take that from a 6'6" forward. I mean, I'm okay with that, given that we have other scorers. All right, so we're over 500 for the first time this year. We are 3 and 2. And we don't have a game today. At home now against the Rockets. 117-103, so we improved to 4 and 2 on the year. So a nice little run here. We've won 4 of our last 5 games. Giannini, 15 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists for the now 21-year-old Vivaldo Giannini. Yeah, the scoring number needs to just be a bit higher, but just great outside shooting. 28 and 16 for Ayton. DeAndre Ayton just off to a monster start on the year. 20 points, 14.5 rebounds, 3.5 blocks for Ayton. LaVine only takes 9 shots, but we win the game. 25 for Suggs, so solid outing there. As we finish October with a 4 and, we'll see, on the road here against the Nuggets. A 4 and 3 mark. We lose to a bad Nuggets team on the road. That's not good. A Nuggets team without Nikola Jokic. Ugh. Who is this? Kenny Brown. Number one pick this year, 14th overall, has 25 points off the bench for them. We get 30 from LaVine, 19 and 11 from Ayton, 20 and 10 from Suggs. Bench struggled. That's just a rough game, man. Rough game. So we come out of October 4 and 3. Let's see where we are. I mean, obviously it's way early, but a game behind Miami, who's 5-2, and the Hawks are out of the gate at 6-1, of course, because they are just an absolute monster in this game. Yeah, so I think we'll go through November, get to December 1st and see where we stand. So Lakers 7-0 out of the chute, 4-0 at home, and we have our first injury. What do we got? Ayton is out for 1 day. Okay. So we will start Vucevic for this game. Replace Ayton's minutes with Thomas. Replace Thomas's minutes with Floyd. And we're gonna try to beat an undefeated Laker team in LA. And we do. We win 94-91 in a low-scoring defensive struggle. Vucevic gets the start as 12-8. 23 points for Levine, 20 points off the bench for Vivaldo Giannini. Is he starting to figure it out? I mean, he still has that growth potential, but he might be figuring it out. 13 rebounds for Davis. Their Davis had 13 rebounds as well. So 5-3, big win for us right there on the road. So we should be able to switch all this back now. We will switch him and him. We will switch him and him. And we will switch him and him. All right, so let's see. We just beat an undefeated Lakers team on the road. Can we now beat a 2-5 Suns team on the road? Or is this one that we're going to turn around and lose? No, we win 113-112. So we sneak out a victory here in this ball. That's not the right box score. That's not the right box score at all. 113-112 is my mouse. My mouse is just jumping around the screen here. Yeah, starters with the exception of Isaac. I mean, I'd like to see that. 29 from Levine, 21 from Suggs, 16 from Dayton, 23 from Davis, 7 of 10 from behind the three-point line, and Vucevic is hurt. For how long? He's out for 13 days. Yeah, I don't know if this Vucevic thing is going to work out, but expiring contract, give us some cap space next season. So let's go to the depth chart. Let's replace Vujicic's minutes with Thomas, and then Thomas's minutes with Floyd. All right, so we're 6-3. Started 0-1, so 6-2 in our last 8. Sim here. Another day with no game. So we get a couple of days off, which is good. Gives Vucevic a chance to heal. So we're back home taking on the 9-2 Cavs. And that is a bad loss, a 19-point defeat to the Cavaliers at home, of all places. Mobley 28-10. That's a good team, man. That is a good team. Ayton fouls out in 12 minutes. Good performances off the bench from Thomas, Giannini, and Floyd. Suggs plays pretty well, and that's about it. So we're very up and down so far through 10 games, 6-4 on the road against a bad Bulls team, and we lose again. Yeah, we've had some bad losses here early on against some teams that should not be beating us. Malik Monk with 22 points, Patrick Williams with 20, and we lose to the Bulls. We were up by 1 going into the fourth. They outscore us by 14 points in that fourth quarter. And we are 6-5 now. This is very similar to last year, right? Where we got out of the gate slow and then made a couple of deals that helped us down the stretch. We may end up doing the same thing as we win here to improve to 7-5. Looked like a big game for Suggs. I think that said he had 38. Yep. 38 points, 5 assists, 3 steals for Suggs. Wahab Floyd was Ayton. Oh, Ayton's probable. Okay. Wahab Floyd gets the start and has 33 points and 14 rebounds in his first start of the year. Good for him. Davis just doesn't shoot the ball enough. 35 minutes, only takes 3 shots. Just doesn't shoot the ball enough. Hopefully we get Ayton back 100% healthy here. 7-5 through 12 games. I don't know. I guess I just never thought that we would win the division. The Hawks are just so good. But it looks like we're going to be battling the Heat and the Wizards here, as both of those teams are slightly ahead of us in the standings right now. We'll get to the end of the month and we'll look at stats and stuff. I just want to get some games under our belt here. All right, we're back at home now against that Bulls team that beat us earlier. We beat them this time by 12, so that's 2 wins in a row. Levine with 26, Giannini 17 off the bench, Suggs 19, 6 and 7. Ayton still not playing. Thomas gets the start. Excuse me, sorry. 13, 8, 3 and 3 for Isaac. So 8 and 6 now. Still not really where we'd want to be, but better. On the road now against the Pistons. Need this one. Okay, so we win 103-91, so up to 9 and 5 now on the year. Where are we? Right here. Levine struggles with his shot, only has 8 points. Jalen Suggs, man. A contract year Jalen Suggs. I'm liking what I see here. 21.9, 5 assists, 2 rebounds per game. We may want to talk to him really soon and lock him up. 8 and 26 and 15. In fact, let's take a look and let's talk to Jalen Suggs right now, see if he wants to talk to us. He wants to wait for free agency. Okay, well, I mean, we have his rights, so we should be able to offer him more than anybody else. That doesn't mean he's going to come back, but we should be able to sign him to a longer-term deal than anybody else. Isaac wants 3 years at $21 million. Maybe. We'll see. We will see. In fact, let's come here and let's look at free agents. What do we have for upcoming free agents? Anthony Davis is unrestricted. Meh. Jason Tatum, Julius Randle both have player options. Cade Cunningham and Jalen Suggs are both restricted. Mitchell has a player option. Giddey is restricted. Jamal Murray, Ben Simmons, both unrestricted. It's not a great free agent class. It's okay. It's okay. I mean, there are some good players here, but I wouldn't say it's a great free agent class. Yeah, I mean, Suggs, I want to obviously hold on to. If we can replace him with someone like Cade Cunningham, maybe we do that instead. I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean, he's restricted, which means we can match any contract offer that's made to him, and same Detroit can do the same thing with Cade Cunningham. But yeah, there are a couple decent names here, but nothing that says we have to go out and get this guy. All right, so let's take a look at our depth. Vucevic, I think, continues to sit on the bench. We've won 3 in a row without him, so let's see what happens here on the road against the Knicks. And just as I say that, we put up a stinker. We lose, I guess not really a stinker. We lose by 8 in Madison Square Garden. Thomas, 11 points, 6 rebounds off the bench. Ayton, not a great game. Only plays 12 minutes. Suggs has 29. A weird game. Weird game. Let's go back into depth, and we will switch Vucevic and Floyd. We will switch Vucevic and Thomas and go with that. We'll move him up here. Yeah, so I don't want to make any moves right now. I really don't want to make any moves this calendar year. I think we'll wait until January before we start to potentially make any deals. We have played 15 games. Only 6 of them have been at home. So maybe we can start to make some headway at home. Of course, this one's against the Hawks. And we have an injury, because of course we do. What would a game against the Hawks be without somebody being injured first? Oh, and it's Jalen Suggs. Wonderful. So Suggs will come out. Rubio will come in. How long is he out for? 1 day. Ugh. So we're going to try to beat the Hawks without Jalen Suggs in the lineup. I'm not expecting that to happen. And we lose by 17. I don't even want to look at that box score. I'm not even going to look at that box score. So we've lost 2 in a row. After winning 3 in a row, we've lost 2 in a row. And again, we're a very up and down team. Not really showing any consistency. I'm not sure what the deal is. I like our starting lineup. Giannini is really solid. I wasn't crazy about the Vucevic deal from the start, but I just didn't want to lose Richaun Holmes for nothing. As we lose again, that's 3 straight losses. We're down to 9 and 8. You got the Warriors now at home. Another injury. Davis is out for 4 days. We will swap him and Isaac. We will swap him and... Okay, so Vucevic is out again, so we'll switch him and Thomas. And then Vucevic and Floyd and Davis and Kleber, I guess. Ugh. So we won 3 in a row, then lost 3 in a row. Got the Warriors at home. Finally bounced back with a win, but that's a really bad Warriors team. So that would have been just an awful, awful loss if that's the way that had gone. 8 and 9 points, 17 rebounds, a double-double for Isaac. 21 points for Levine, 14, 6 and 4 for Suggs. At home again, or on the road against the Celtics. Do we have people back from injury? Vucevic is back, but I don't want to play him. I just don't. I've just there's a good road win. We beat the Celtics. I don't think Vucevic is a good fit for this team. We have so many big men that are young. Vucevic just isn't a good fit. We're gonna move him next episode. I've made that decision. I just made that decision. So 28, 8 and 4 steals for Suggs, 30, 6 and 8 for Levine. Thomas gets the start as 12 points, 11 rebounds. Rookie doing a nice job there. Giannini with 9 points and 11 rebounds off the bench. So back-to-back wins. A couple days left in this episode, I guess, or yeah. On the road against Giannis, KD, and the Nets. And we lose by 15. We have an inbox message. He blasts says, "You can go ahead, I don't care." Vucevic is not happy with us. He can continue to not be happy with us. On the road again against the Sixers. Another loss. Wow. 11 and 10. Yeah, we aren't... we're obviously not the same team. We'll take a look at the let's see. Okay, so we're at December 1st, so let's save. So 11 and 10. 11 and 10 in our first 21 games is basically the same exact thing that happened last year. If we look at insights, we're 10th. It's the defense again. The defense has gone back to hell. We're giving up 106 points a game, 24th in the league. Our defensive rating is middle of the pack. Yeah, we gotta do something about the defense. So let's go here. And before we do anything, let's just go ahead and where is he? Put Vucevic on the trade block. Let's see. Does anybody want him? Guess we could just do this, right? We can shop player. Atlanta, Washington, San Antonio, and Phoenix. Atlanta, Washington, San Antonio, and Phoenix. Let's look at San Antonio and Phoenix first because they're out west. So I got no problem bringing somebody back that maybe is not as good as. Yeah, and I don't really need a center. I think I'd like to bring back a swingman who can play some defense. I mean, Nerlens Noel is great defensively, but he's not going to play. With the number of centers that we have. So I think, a defensive-minded swingman, if that exists. But someone who isn't signed long-term. It would have to be somebody who is signed to a short-term deal. He looks okay, but let's go to San Antonio. Jeremy, I wish Grant was only signed for one year. That would have been a nice pickup. Justin Wright Foreman, no. They got Kemba on the trade block, which doesn't really interest me. I think we can look at Washington, I guess. I don't mind trading with the Wizards if they've got something that fits our needs. I mean, I don't even mind trading with the Hawks, to be completely honest. So we'll look at the teams that showed some interest first, I guess. Yeah, they don't have anything. They're looking for depth because they're so top heavy. I mean, I don't want to go team by team here, so I think what I might do is offline, see what I can find, and then when we come back next episode, kind of give you a hey guys, this is what we did. And DeMar DeRozan. Where is DeRozan right there? He's not good defensively. Yeah, I mean, he's this power forward version of Vucevic, which isn't going to help me. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to spend some time offline here once I've ended the episode to try to find a trade partner for Nikola Vucevic. When we come back next episode, he will likely no longer be on the team. Standings perspective, we are sitting in third place, game behind the Heat and 7 full games behind the Hawks, who just continue to steamroll. Statistically, for the Magic, Levine leads us in scoring 24 a game. Suggs having a really nice year at 21, Ayton at 14, and those are the only 3 players averaging in double digits. That's a bit of a surprise. We're not scoring that much, and we're giving up more than I would like. So maybe we're not as good as I thought we were. Maybe we're not as good, and maybe that means that I don't want to shift into a rebuild mode with Ayton, Levine, and Suggs. I mean, I think that's a really solid top 3. But maybe it's time to move on from Isaac and shift our attention to picking up a power forward to play, a true power forward to play alongside DeAndre Ayton. I mean, I would hate to trade Isaac. He's so good defensively and does everything really well, but his numbers are down. Across the board, his numbers are down. I think the blocks are up. Everything else is down, so... Yeah, I mean, it's balanced scoring, 9, 9, almost 9, 8, 8, 7. So we've got balanced scoring, but other than Levine, Suggs, and Ayton, I haven't been overly impressed by anybody this year. So yeah, so that's going to do it for this episode, guys. So we come into December at 11 and 10, third place in the division, or in the division rather, with some decisions to make about Nikola Vucevic. It's not going to work. He's only shooting 37% from the field. He's a bad defensive player, and our defense is what carries us. So we need to get him out of there, and I had a feeling that was going to be a problem. So we will see what sort of trade chip we can get for Vucevic, and we'll go from there. When we come back next episode, I'll go over that with you, and we will sim to probably through the trade deadline in the next episode. We'll do December, January, and then the trade deadline will be February, whatever it is. So that is how that will go. And as always, guys, I appreciate you watching. I appreciate your support as we climb towards 500 subscribers. I'll talk to everybody soon. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.